Yo 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 yo.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Hump Day.
Good morning.
We back, baby. Another
right.
Wednesday on the Breakfast Club. What's happening? How y'all feel out there?
Yes, it's Wednesday. It's Hump Day, middle of the week, and our guest host is running a little late.
Listen, our guest host this morning is Lala Anthony again, La Lazy. I don't even like to say that they running late because it's not like they really work here.
That is true.
So
they're not getting a check.
She got 4 hours.
Yeah,
she can get here when she get here.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Still get here. Maybe do a little makeup. You know what I mean? Drink a little Starbucks or something. And she'll get right in the groove.
That's right. Well, we got Stephen A. Smith joining us this morning.
Stephen A. Smith will be here this morning. He has an amazing new book out. It's called Straight Shooter. I love reading. I love books, and Stephen A.'s book is really, really good for a number of reasons. But the most important reason is because he don't be talking about his personal life.
Not at all.
You've never really heard Stephen A. delve into his personal life, and his book, Straight Shooter, a memoir of second chances and first takes, really, really digs into his personal life.
I thought he was married for the longest.
Nah, he got 2 baby mamas though.
That you found out in the book.
Found that out in the book.
Okay.
He got 2 baby mamas, and he talks about a relationship that I think that men don't talk about enough, which is the relationships with our fathers. You know what I mean? Especially when some of them weren't the best, and he definitely didn't have the best relationship with his pops. He talks about that a lot in the book. But we'll talk to Stephen A. Smith this morning. Straight Shooter, a memoir of second chances and first takes. He'll be here to discuss that.
Absolutely. My dad called me yesterday. He was like, I just want to tell you something. I said, what's up, Pops? He goes, I love you. So my Pops was listening. So if you're listening this morning, Dad, good morning.
Yeah, I realized the context of, I get the discussion we was having yesterday, but man, love you is just a matter of context. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was saying yesterday. If you know an individual loves you, your dad could have called you and said, I just want you to know, love you, son.
Right.
It'd have felt the same way as I love you. You don't think so?
Yeah, it would have.
It's just about context, man.
Yeah.
If you're on top of somebody breathing and sweating and, y'all making love and you say, I love you, it's a different context.
Yeah.
You can't even look me in the eyes right now. Say, I love you, King.
You love me?
No, say it to me.
No, you say it first.
I love you, King.
All right, thank you.
See what I'm saying?
I love you back.
See what I'm saying?
I said I love you back.
That's cool.
I said I love you back.
Is cool. I say I love you more.
All right, that's too much going on now. Okay, it's too much.
Why is love too much?
It's too much.
That's the problem with y'all Negroes.
You said I love you,
that's why you got a hump in your back now.
I don't have a hump.
You got a hump in your back right now because you can't accept love. Accept love. Straighten up and accept love.
My back is straight.
There you go.
Why are you poking your nipples out?
What?
Look at his nipples. See, Red's looking.
Why am I? What are you talking about?
This is all right.
First of all, it is cold in here. So if you see nipples,
it
has nothing to do with you.
See, I can't.
It's just cold in here.
I'm not doing this with you today.
Okay, it's cold in here.
All right.
I got nipples up top and shrinkage below.
All right. Well, let's get the show cracking. Where's Lala when you need her, man? This is too much masculine energy here. It's too much.
There's nothing about me that's masculine.
You're right. You're absolutely right. All right. We got front page news.
Personified.
All right. Okay. Now we got to tell you about this winter storm that's about to hit the, I can't even say the East Coast, the South, and a bunch of areas. So we'll talk about it when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, congratulations to LeBron. I think this is pretty dope. I think he's like 200 points away from beating the all-time scoring record. Last night, LeBron James, his team, the Lakers, were playing the Clippers, and he becomes the first player in NBA history to score 40 points against all 30 NBA teams.
I mean, he's the greatest old player of all time, right? I think it's safe to say that. I've never seen nobody at, 38 years old play at the level Bron is playing at. He's absolutely the greatest old player of all time.
They're saying in the next 6 or 7 games he'll beat that record of all-time scoring. Now, be careful out there, all right? Now, they're saying 17 million people are under winter storm warnings. Now, this is from Texas to New York. So they're saying a winter storm warning will be hitting today between 1 and 3. They say some places it might just get 1 inch or 2 inches of snow. Some people are going to get 10 inches of snow, and that will affect Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and, of course, New York and New Jersey. So be careful out there.
We can't handle no 10 inches, bro.
You can't?
Hell no.
You ever tried?
I don't. Listen, I don't want 10 inches of snow. Not right now in January. And why do they always wait until, the season's about to change to do stuff like this?
I don't know.
Hey, they should have did this around Christmas.
Who's they? What you mean they should have did it?
Mother Nature. Oh. I'm trying to be politically correct. I don't want to misgender her.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't want to call her a mother and she's not.
Well, You stupid. Now let's talk about classified documents. All right. Now they've been finding documents all over the place, and Pence actually spoke out about them finding documents at all these other places.
Did you take any classified documents with you from the White House?
I did not.
Do you see any reason for anyone to take classified documents with them leaving the White House?
Well, there'd be no reason to have classified documents, particularly if they were in an unprotected area.
And scene.
All right, and they found documents at ex-Vice President Mike Pence's house. They discovered a dozen documents marked as classified at his Indiana home last week. Now, what are these documents? Because it seems like everybody got a document.
I don't know. Classified documents be the new must-have item for politicians. And what I would never understand is why do politicians weaponize actions that they too are doing?
Yes.
Like Joe Biden called Trump irresponsible, knowing he had classified docs all over the place. Mike Pence lied and said he didn't have classified documents and said Biden was irresponsible, knowing he had classified docs. We got that clip too? Let's hear that.
Classified documents found as having been in the possession of the president who was a former vice president and being treated differently, it just suggests to me once again that last summer was an overreach. But the kind of double standard that we see being practiced by the Biden administration in the wake of this incident in the Justice Department, I think is exactly what undermines public confidence in our justice system.
How about all of y'all dirty? All of y'all dirty, so stop the mudslinging. It's literally like cheating on your wife, but chastising other men for cheating on their wife, knowing you got a couple side chicks your damn self. Okay? And also, if the issue with Trump is obstruction and Trump knowing and willingly took documents, then that means, Biden is just irresponsible, incompetent, and plain out stupid. Because he didn't even know he took documents. He didn't even know what was on.
He didn't know what was on. He was like,
so everybody should come clean and just put your cards on the table and shut the F up forever and properly, do what y'all can for this country and stop worrying about, weaponizing actions that all of y'all are doing against each other.
All right.
Boy.
Well, that is your front page news. Now get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Get it off your chest. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Because being the greatest old player counts too. Because at the end of the day, you've never seen anything like this. I mean, it just adds on to his legacy. The fact that he's 38 years old and still balling the way he's balling right now. He's the greatest old player of all time. You ain't never seen nobody at 38 execute at this level.
He never seen nobody at the way he was doing it at 25, 28.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
When last all-around player is probably like Bird?
Man, you got to stop, bro. You got to stop. We've seen Kobe Bryant. We've seen Kobe Bryant. We've seen Allen Iverson. We've seen Shaquille O'Neal. We've seen Kevin Garnett. What are you talking about?
All around.
What do you mean all around?
They can be a small forward. They can be a center.
Listen, LeBron is a top 5 greatest of all time NBA player, probably top 3. But you cannot discount what he's doing right now at 38 years old. Like, yes, that matters. He's the greatest old player we've ever seen. We've never seen this before.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, DJ Envy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Coach Davis, man. Charlamagne, how y'all doing?
What's up, my brother?
I'm good, man. Hey, listen, Envy, I want to say congratulations to you and you, Charlamagne, for, dealing with your health, man, and getting these colonoscopies.
Yes, sir.
As Wendy used to say, I'm a man of a certain age, and, I'm definitely, this is my second colonoscopy that I'm scheduled for in February, but I also, want y'all to talk about these prostate exams too, man, because black men are dying at a high clip from prostate cancer as well.
I just got my prostate looked at. I got the ultrasound thing done.
Yeah, me too.
I did that like a week ago.
Yeah, that's huge, man. Because they have the negative connotation of black men, especially not going to the doctor and getting that checked because of the sexual connotations to it, and that's a bunch of nonsense, man. You got to worry about your health and life.
Let me tell you something, man.
Rather than your sexuality.
I got 4 daughters, King. Right? I'm 44 years old. I need to live to at least be 90 something years old, close to 100. So I'll let a man look in my butt all day long if it allows me to do that.
Facts. You know? Hey, I got one thing to say, man. I want to ask y'all a question. I don't know if y'all know about the young man from Ohio, Sensei Reed.
Nah, who that?
Nah.
But, in October, he got into an altercation with a white man, and the white man ended up killing him. Young man was 13 years old.
Nah, I didn't see that.
And
I didn't see that.
We'll look it up,
yeah,
though.
the dude that killed him got arrested. 48 hours, he's out. They dropped all the charges, and the young man is dead. Like, they not recharging this dude. He claims self-defense. Google it, bruh. Sensei Reed. SINZAEREED.
I'm gonna look into it.
Thank you, brother. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's a new day.
This is your time to get it off your chest.
Wake up.
Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, Big Chocolate the Toe Sucker, how we doing, man?
Oh God.
So listen, two quick things. Now listen,
wait,
I'm sitting here trying to enjoy my breakfast. You don't got to
Say-
stop all this I love you talk, all right? And Envy, be careful, protect yourself, brother.
Hey,
What?
can you say good morning to Lala? Say good morning to people before you just start talking, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Lala, how you feel?
Hey, I just wanted to address the toe sucker part.
No, you don't.
Oh,
No,
okay.
please,
Yeah, I'm a toe sucker for hire if you so desire, girl. I saw you last night and think like a man. I was looking for the pretty toes, but I didn't see them. What's up?
What you mean? I had shoes on. My feet are nice. What are you talking about?
The next movie, I want to see some toes, baby, all right?
Oh Lord.
Go ahead, man. Finish what you got to say.
All right, yeah. So listen, all this I love you talk. Envy, be careful. Don't bend over in front of Charlamagne. You got them all turned on and worked up with that. I love you talk.
Can you make me a promise? When Angela Yee's new show starts, can you just call her and not call him ever again? Please.
And listen, too, I think DJ Khaled comes out Super Bowl halftime show and says, DJ Khaled, Rihanna, bring me another salad. Now, that's funny, right?
DJ Khaled, bring me another salad. You know damn well Khaled don't eat no salad.
Say peace.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Q off MIA.
What's up, bro? Get off your chest.
I just want you guys to pray for my daughter. Got a newborn. She's on the 14th, and she's a preemie, 24 weeks.
Oh man,
She's a baby
definitely.
24 weeks early. All right, definitely pray.
Definitely
Prayers up,
sending our healing
prayers
to Angie
up.
and putting prayers up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, good luck, brother.
And then I got something for you on DJ.
What you got? All right.
Damn, he just blew you without asking.
I know, right?
Oh my God.
Have a good one, man. Hello, who's this?
It's Terrence down here in Newport News. How y'all doing?
757. What up, Terrence? Get it off your chest.
What up? I'm sitting in a country where the previous president and the former president both under federal investigation.
Well,
Man, we might as well.
Well, Biden's not under federal investigation yet, and I doubt they will because, you know, the whole double standard. You know, Merrick Garland might not do the same thing to President Biden, but we'll see.
But the way it's looking, I thought they're trying to legalize criminalization, where you see inmates in prison running a campaign. I'll be home in 90 days. Vote for me.
I feel you, my
Y'all have a good day.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can hit us up.
And La Lizzie has joined us. She came in
here.
hot this morning. She came in hot.
I came in hot. Came in hot. Got some things on my mind.
All right, now we got rumors on the way. La, you ready?
Yes, we're ready. We're ready.
What we teasing? We just teasing.
So we're teasing that Justin Bieber sold his music catalog. We want to talk about that. Saw an interview where Nia Long got emotional talking about, you know, some of the things she's been through. Want to touch on that. It's some good stuff. It's some surprises. A lot going on.
And Lala said she want to talk about marriage
That
this
she
morning.
sure did. Sure did. She came in hot. So we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
All right. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Our guest host, Lala's here. Make sure you tune in to 8 o'clock hour.
Oh, have mercy.
This topic we're going to talk about, goodness gracious, Lala on fire.
All I heard was, niggas will settle down, but they'll still cheat. Whoa, Lalisi. Save it.
Jesus. All right, let's get to the rumors. Play the drop. Let's go.
Rumor has it. Rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Yes, on the Breakfast Club.
Where we starting?
All right, let's talk about Oscar nominations for this year. So Everything Everywhere leads with 11 nominations. Shout out to Angela Bassett. This is her first acting Oscar nomination, which is incredible.
Really?
For Black Panther. Everyone's super happy about that. And Brian Tyree Henry is Best Actor in a Supporting Role, nominated for Causeway. And pretty much all the nominations are from Black Panther. Best Supporting Actress, Angela Bassett. Best Original Song, Rihanna and the crew, which is amazing, for Lift Me Up. Best Visual Effects, Black Panther. Best Costume Design, Black Panther's nominated. Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Black Panther is nominated. But
no
some
Woman
of
King?
The snubs, let's go ahead.
Well, no, Angela is the first person from Marvel to be nominated for an Oscar. She's been nominated before. She got nominated for What's Love Got to Do with It?
Yeah, so Angela Bassett snags the Marvel's first acting Oscar nomination, which is awesome. But the snubs, The Woman King, Till, and Nope, they were shut out from the Oscar nominations. And Halle Berry still remains the only Black woman to win the Oscar for actress in a leading role for her performance in Monsters Ball.
There is no way in hell that Daniel Deadwyler, who played Mammy Till, and Viola Davis shouldn't have been nominated for Best Actress.
No
Definitely
way.
Viola Davis.
Like, y'all don't got eyes, ears. Like,
she killed Woman King.
Yeah, Viola killed Woman King. Have you seen Till? Daniel Deadwyler body Till, man. What?
But the prep she had to do for Woman King and all, oh man, she killed it. If you haven't seen Woman King, definitely check it out.
But I don't care about the Oscars no way though, and that is why even
say more.
Let me say when when they had the whole Oscars, So White campaign, nothing has really changed since then. No. And I don't think that people like Viola Davis and Daniel Deadwyler need Oscars to validate them. But I do understand why actors and actresses want those awards.
Of course.
It makes the stock go up.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And it's just like, why are we continuously overlooked? It's just, it's a problem.
And the only other thing I would say is the movies they be nominated, and I don't be watching no way, so I don't be knowing if those people should be nominated. So
that is true too. That is true too.
It's so true. I'm looking like, and I watch movies and stuff. I'm like, never heard of that. Never heard of that. Don't know who that is. Never heard of that.
Top Gun. I did see Top Gun. I don't know how many they're nominated for, but Top Gun was pretty good.
I feel like Top Gun was 2 years ago. At least a year. Top Gun ain't this year.
You sure?
I don't know.
I didn't see them on the list, but I could be wrong. I was looking for Everyone Black.
That's right.
All right, so we're going to the next thing. Justin Bieber sells his entire back catalog in a historic deal for $200 million. So this is a historic deal. His manager, Scooter Braun, said, this is historic. Bieber has sold over 150 million records globally, and he sold it to this group called Hypnosis Song Management for $200 million, more than 290 songs.
I wonder why.
I was going to ask that.
Like why get rid of your masters?
Why not?
I mean, isn't that something you keep for your kids, and it brings you money every year? It's not like it's
does
an
it?
asset. Yeah.
I was having a conversation with somebody the other day because I saw the same thing. I forgot who was it. Somebody sold their masters over the holidays. Was it Future?
Future, so I think for $50 million.
No, it was Dre, Dr. Dre, when Dr. Dre sold his. And they was like, why not? It's like, you get unprecedented money. It's generational wealth for your kids. Like, they're not making no $200 million off no one time off their catalog. They might not even make that over a course of a lifetime.
You don't think so?
It's definitely saying here that it's just becoming more increasingly popular to sell your catalog. Shakira just struck a deal. She sold 100% of her publishing rights. Justin Timberlake. And they said that there are several reasons artists look to sell rights to years of work. Some are looking to sell their catalogs before President Biden's proposed plan to increase taxes on capital gains is potentially instituted. If artists were to wait until after this tax plan goes into effect, they would be paying a higher tax on the sale of their catalog.
That was the other thing he told me. He said they got to pay taxes on it.
And they said artists are looking to get a lump sum of cash up front instead of royalty checks over a period of time.
You'll never get no $200 million in no lifetime off no music.
But you lose your masters. When people sample your music and all that. I don't know.
I don't care. Give me the money up front.
And it's not like Bruce Springsteen's doing it, Pink Floyd is doing it, Jimmy Iovine's doing it. Get the lump sum of money, man.
There had to be a reason why Michael Jackson was buying everybody's masters instead of selling his.
That is true too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true too.
That's true. Want to talk about Nia Long, who recently did an interview. We have a clip, and became a little bit emotional talking about, some of the recent stuff personally she's been through. She's just an icon, a class act, a friend. I love Nia Long, but let's go to the clip.
I still have my anonymity, and I appreciate that about my career. I appreciate that however I've managed to do that it's the thing that allows me to stay connected to the people and to be human and not try to be this perfect being. And, I've had some pretty devastating moments in my life over the last couple of months, and I've had to just say, it's all right, you'll pick yourself back up, and, oh my God, I'm about to cry. You pick yourself back up and you keep it moving.
Class act in every way possible. And I just think there's like this thing, I don't know, like when people in the public eye go through stuff, it's like this kind of idea of like, well, people don't feel bad for them, or what did you expect, or what did you think? Especially even when dealing with athletes, it's kind of like, well, what did you think was going to happen? And guess what? Nobody goes into a marriage thinking that's going to happen.
He's an athlete, so this is going to happen.
Yeah, it's just like, so what did you expect, or what did you this, what did you that?
Not at all.
No, you don't go into a marriage thinking that. If you thought that and believed that your connection with that person wasn't something different, then you want to get married to them.
Well, hold on, Elijah. Just now, when you was ranting and raving behind the scenes, you said,
what?
People gonna cheat.
Right.
I'm not saying you should accept it, but I'm saying you...
No, but I'm saying I did not go into a marriage with the idea of, I'm doing this, but I know I'm getting cheated on.
Oh, gotcha.
Or I know I'm going to get
Yeah,
cheated
yeah,
on.
yeah.
I went into a marriage saying, I found a connection or someone that we're going to do it different.
Absolutely.
And regardless if you're an athlete, whatever you are, entertainer, any kind of business you're in, you can't just say like, well, you married an athlete or you married a rapper or whatever, so
you should expect
what you should expect it. Right. And then some people go further and say you should expect it and you should be okay with it.
Yeah. Right.
Now there's another piece to it.
Yeah.
Like not just accept it, but be okay with it.
Yeah, because that is a stereotype, right? Because it's not like, it's not like pastors don't be cheating. People that you don't expect to cheat, sometimes they jump out the window too.
Right.
But that's why you got to get you a black man, because black men don't cheat.
We're going to talk about it 8 o'clock hour, all right?
Yeah, because I have more to say.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it next hour. All right, now, don't forget when we come back, Stephen A. Smith will be joining us in a little bit. And we got front page news.
We need to push Stephen back. Lala on one right now. I need to know what's going on. I need to say something happened. That she, like, you just don't come in here with this energy.
Now, well, we got front page news next. Imagine being killed by your dog and not your homie, like your roof dog. We'll explain when we come back.
Oh, no.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our special guest host, Lala, here.
Good morning.
Yes, indeed.
And let's get in some front page news. Now let's talk U.S. Airlines, meaning the airlines in America. All right, now because I said U.S. Airlines
for Canada.
Yeah, it's gonna sound like I said U.S. Airlines, but we're gonna talk about the top 9 airlines. All right, number 1. Who's number 1?
JetBlue.
No way.
Delta.
Delta's number 1.
Delta.
Okay.
Yeah, Delta.
Number 2 is Alaska.
What?
Number 3 is Southwest Airlines.
That's a damn lie.
Number 4,
Southwest Airlines is a
United.
bus in the sky.
Southwest Airlines?
Yes. So I'll tell you number 9. Number 9 is JetBlue.
How JetBlue so low?
I actually have great experiences on JetBlue.
Before JetBlue, number 8, Frontier.
I am a Mosaic member on JetBlue.
And I'm very proud of that.
Number 7, before JetBlue, before Frontier, Spirit.
That is a goddamn lie.
And that's from the Wall Street Journal.
Well, Wall Street Journal full of it. Okay.
Wow.
Southwest Airlines is a bus in the sky. Okay, you go in there and you play musical chairs.
They're ranked number 3, sir.
There ain't no damn way in hell.
How is that possible?
Do they have first class? Do they give you soda and water?
Last time I checked, when you get on Southwest Airlines, you pick your own seat.
You pick your own
seat.
Yeah. They be having the music playing.
Yeah,
when the
you
music
pick your
stops,
own
everybody got to sit down. It's literally musical chairs. That's what I heard.
So that's the airlines. Now, this is a sad story. So a hunter, I guess he's, I'm not sure what town he is. Oh, Kansas, okay. So he's 30 years old. He was driving in his truck with his dog, and the dog accidentally, I guess, bumped the rifle or stepped on the rifle, and the gun went off and killed him.
Well, they need to press charges on the dog.
Well, they can't press charges.
No, if Alec Baldwin is being charged with manslaughter, then this dog needs to be charged with manslaughter too. We cannot live in a country where dogs get better treatment than humans, okay? When dogs get killed in this country, humans get held accountable for killing those dogs, so the same rule should apply. I recommend the death penalty. That dog needs to get put down.
For the dog?
Euthanized.
He didn't grab the trigger,
I don't
pulled
care.
the trigger.
Nope.
He bumped into it accidentally or stepped on the trigger.
It was an accident when Alex Baldwin did it too. Damn it.
Jesus.
All right, he's being charged.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
Charge the
that's
dog.
horrible. Now, in some other sad news, a grandmother held in a chokehold by grocery workers after refusing to give them the $50 she found. Now, she was in a grocery store.
What?
Stop funny, man.
People are out
Man,
of
come
control.
on, man. Stop, man.
She found the money and they put
She
her in
found
a chokehold
$50
they
on the
wanted
ground,
money.
and everybody, you know, when you find money, that's my money, that's my money.
What if it was that person's $50?
She refused to hand over the money.
Man, so
she was confronted by the
stupid, man.
store employees and physically restrained.
Come on, man.
Oh, no.
Come on, man. Where the grandkids at when you need them, man? Come on, man. You can't be doing grandma like that.
Now, the 3 employees that held her down, she was 65, have been fired.
Why it took 3? Was that my dear they was holding down? Why it took 3 employees to hold grandma down? My God. I need to see pictures, man. It got to be a video or something. I need to see what's happening, man.
Now, the store owner has issued an apology to Smith, in addition offering to pay bail for her daughter, because her daughter came up there after and wilded out.
You think? That's grandma.
That's grandma.
We shooting up the whole grocery store for grandma.
And we have audio of one of the family members.
This beautiful elderly black sister who is suffering and fighting cancer.
The fight over that $50 escalated. At one point, Smith was put in a chokehold. One employee snatched the money from her hand. DA Travis Cohen sending Fox 26 this statement, saying they're carefully reviewing the video and witness statements from the incident, and that the investigation is ongoing.
If you had extensive video footage of some black people in this county choking a white woman the way they choked her and beat her, would you call it an ongoing investigation?
When you turn around and step on one of us, we all coming. And that lackluster letter that you had, Mr. DA, we're not hearing this because we going based on the Texas Penal Code.
Come on, man. You ain't say they was black and white now. You just read the story.
I just read the story.
You ain't put the racial element into it. You ain't say it was a bunch of white people doing that to an older black woman now.
Bro. Could you imagine, though?
No, I can't.
No, I can't.
Somebody grab your grandma and put her in a chokehold?
No, I can't.
You gotta go beat them up.
Wait, I ain't heard nothing about no violence. No violence happened after that other than them choking grandma?
Oh, I just tell you the daughter.
I'm supposed to be hearing consequences and repercussions happening, and I want to hear, charges being pressed as well. But I still want to hear about, some things happening in that store to those people that did that to grandma.
We're not promoting any violence.
I am. You choke out somebody's grandma, 65
grandmother
years old,
who's suffering from cancer.
From cancer,
but they need 3 people to hold down grandma.
Yeah,
and grandma was going. They said grandma was going to the store to get ice cream and a honey bun for her son.
Come on, man. Listen. I am promoting violence in that situation. You choke out somebody's grandmother, 65 years old, and 3 people hold them down, and you expect me to come up here and keep my cool? Nah. No.
Some things are just not okay.
I agree. All right. Well, that is your front page news. Now, when we come back, Stephen A. Smith will be joining us. He has a new book out called Straight Shooter.
A memoir of second chances and first takes.
That's right. We'll talk to him next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
I knew that if I was going to write a book, there was only one way I could go about doing it. It ain't some damn sports book. It's got to be about me, who I am, how I think, why I came to be, how I am, the way that I think, etc., etc. I thought I owed that to the audience, and the only reason I hesitated once I got let go by ESPN in 2009, in 2011, people were coming to me to write a book, and I knew I wanted it to be about my life, etc., etc. And my mother at the time, who had just gotten diagnosed with cancer, one that she lost in 2017, God rest her soul, she said, she made me swear, you will never write this book while I'm alive.
I understand why after reading it, because I'm sure it had to do with your relationship with your father.
Yes.
Which I felt like
that's exactly why.
Yeah, you addressed the topic most men don't discuss enough, and that is our relationship with our fathers. How difficult was it to explore that topic?
It was hard. And the reason why it was hard, it wasn't the writing process, it was the editing process, which y'all all know. You write it, but they look at it, the editing process. And so when they're editing, it's calling upon you to revisit and revisit over and over and over again. And I didn't wait until a book was finished to show it to my sisters. I got 4 older sisters, and I didn't wait until the book was finished. When I wrote those specific chapters, I sent it to them, and they didn't talk to me for 2 weeks.
Really?
And I thought they were originally upset. They weren't upset. They were just saying, we had buried these memories a long time ago.
And you brought them back up.
And they said, you brought it back up. We ain't knocking you for it. We understand. But it just hurt a lot to revisit some of those experiences because we had buried them for the longest time. And the details that you had, they couldn't believe that I remembered because I reminded them. And they were like, yeah,
you never
this
forget
happened,
those.
this happened, that happened.
Yeah, my dad is your hero?
Yeah. My dad, he wasn't.
I feel like the things you said about him in the book are the things you wanted to say about him at his funeral.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
I told him to his face. I didn't say anything in the book that I didn't tell him to his face.
Okay.
So let me be clear about that. In 2018, he passed away 14 months after my mother passed away. And when he passed away, I called my sister Carmen the morning of his funeral. And I said, I'm doing the eulogy. And Carmen was like, God, no. Steve, please. Please, Steve, don't do this. Don't do this. She said, what are you going to say? I said, you'll find out when you get to the funeral. And she's like, Steve, don't do this. What will mommy want? What will mommy want? You know what mommy would say? I said, I got it. And I was going to go in. And I was going to literally say everything that you see in the book. And
you spoke to Pastor A.R. Bernard.
And I called Pastor A.R. Bernard. Something told me to call him. You know, I've been going to CCC. I've known Pastor Bernard for 30 years. And so I said, let me call him. And I called him and told him what I was feeling. And he was like, you're right to feel that way. I'm very familiar with your story. He said, you're not wrong. He said, but the Bible talks about God's grace and God's mercy. And he said, and you might want to think about that before you decide to speak your truth. And when I eulogized my father, I went up on the stage after everybody gave all the plaudables, all the nice things, the pleasantries they had to say about him. And I walked up and the first words out of my mouth was, that's y'all memories of him. Memories of my family, we have an entirely different story. And I saw my cousin Derek keel over like, oh no, please. And I saw my brother-in-law, was like, oh Lord, he's about to go in. And I saw neighbors that were in the audience that I hadn't seen in years that just showed up for my dad's funeral. And they were like literally lip syncing to me. Please don't do this. And I said, my father was not a good man. I said, but then I brought up my mother. I said, my mother knows nothing about sports. I'm Stephen A. I work for ESPN. The sports world knows who I am. My mother says EPSN, whatever it is. I don't know, but she didn't even know the letters. I said, but she knew what a home run was. She knew what a no-hitter was. She knew what a stolen base was. And she knew it because of him. Because she loved my father so much that she knew baseball because of him. I said, so there evidently was something very special about him to have a woman like my mother. And then I talked about a lot of the happy moments that he gave us. And then I ended it by saying, at the end of the day, he's still my dad, and I love him. And I don't think I would have gotten to that point if it wasn't for A.R. Bernard.
Wow. What made you change your perspective of how to talk about him for the book? Was it because you could add more context? You could add the full context?
Because I could add the full context. And not only that, I owe it, if I'm going to write it, I didn't know it was going to be like 78 to 80,000 words, but I literally wrote 90,000 words. I wrote the book myself. And when no ghostwriter, it was me. I wrote this book. I did the audio. It was another voice. It was me. And I just said, if I'm going to do this, then I owe it to everybody. I mean, and because of the business that I'm in, I imagine talking to you. I can see the questions, because I'm experienced enough to know what's coming. I know what I would ask. I know what I would think about. And I wanted to make sure that I left no doubt as to where I stood and, what I was trying to say. And that's what I did.
And I have a question. So even though obviously how you felt when you were writing the book, because it was your thoughts and feelings, was there a sense of like that therapeutic element? Like, when people actually put the words on paper and write it down and read it and look at it, a lot of authors say like it's a form of therapy. It's like I finally got it out my head and on the paper.
Possibly so. I'm not saying that I didn't feel that way, but there was a bigger emotion coming from it, Lala. When my mother passed away, to see her in the grave before him and to see her deprived, she was 76 years old. My mother was at a point where let her go on a couple of cruises a year and she's in heaven. What was unforgivable to me was not paying any bills. Allowing her to work the hours you were supposed to be working, to have the obligations you were supposed to have.
So when
that's the person you're supposed to take off.
You said you had a conversation with him. When you had the conversation before he died, what was his reasoning?
Well, this was years earlier. I would tell you about 5 years earlier, we were in my dining room. We were in my mother's dining room. He's in there, and his older brother, my Uncle Freddie, was sitting next to him. And my father was like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't realize what I've done for you. I said, you haven't done anything for me. He started arguing with me. And my Uncle Freddie looked at him and he said, Bassol. That was his middle name, Bassol. And he said, shut the f*** up. He said, this is Stephen. He's a journalist for a living. He knows what you have and have not done, chapter and verse. You have no shot. Just be quiet. And my father just sat back. and just took it, and I just left it alone for me.
All right, we got more with Stephen A. Smith when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Hey, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest host, Lala, joining us. Now we have Stephen A. Smith in the building. Charlamagne?
Did Skip ever get in trouble for anything he said on First Take? Because you talk about the times you...
First Take or his
First
show?
Take. First Take, because you talk about the times that you got in trouble on First Take. And I'm like, well, Skip had crazy opinions too, and the opinions you had weren't necessarily like suspension worthy and stuff.
I never recall Skip getting in trouble.
Wow.
Ever. In terms of a suspension or anything like that. When I got suspended, I was furious. I did not believe I deserved it. I was pissed off to the highest degree because I just thought that, it was made into something that it wasn't. And so for me, whatever my opinions are, I don't mind anybody coming at me about that. This is what we feel about what you said. It's when they try to branch it out and turn it into something that it was not. That's what pisses me off, because what happens is when you have Disney, and I'm not knocking Disney for this at all. Listen, man, we got stockholders, got shareholders. You got people to appease. And so you got to pay attention to everybody. You ain't after black, white, Hispanic appeal. You have to mass appeal. You want it all. And so as a result of that, you have to pay attention to everything and everybody. And so when that noise is made, my boss at the time felt compelled to respond to the noise. And when he got suspended 48 hours earlier, he told me I wasn't going to be suspended. Exactly. We're fine.
Yeah, I read that.
And then, he turned around and suspended me. And so for me, I've learned a lot. I'm a lot better. And what I try to do, and all of y'all can attest to this at one time or another, we've all had private conversations. I'll whisper something in y'all ear about something to watch out for. I'm very, very big about these are the minefields. Yep. Watch out, because what I'm saying is, as a product of corporate America, somebody that's been in corporate America for over 30 years, I kind of know where the minefields are. And so as a result of that, I might see cats on the come up that I think is going to be in my position or an even higher position. And I'm saying, come here. Let me make sure I tip you off to this. Watch out for this. Watch out for this. Watch out for that. Because I want y'all to succeed. I don't want y'all to fail. Who the hell wants to be successful alone?
Now,
I was shocked that Skip sat with you, though. When you got suspended.
Oh, yeah, it shocked me, too. But he listen, he walked off the set. Said, I ain't coming back until my man comes back on. Because he knew it was wrong, too. But I was really shocked that he took that position. I certainly didn't ask him to. And I'm appreciative of that. Doesn't mean we still disagree 99% of the time. But I did appreciate the fact that he took that position on my behalf.
Who are the worst fans? Are they Cowboy fans?
They don't like care about that.
Skip fans? Or the Navy fans?
Cowboy fans. Nobody's worse. Nobody's worse. But I will tell you.
The Navy got at you a little bit.
Listen.
They came for your head.
First of all, let me be very, very clear.
You don't give a damn about
I don't give a damn. I want to be very, very clear about that. It doesn't faze me. It really, really doesn't. Lala, after you've known me for years, I'm just built that way. Rihanna, if she had a problem, that would have bothered me. Not her fans. I challenge anybody to tell me one negative thing I said about that wonderful performer and young lady.
Are you excited for this halftime show?
I don't want to say I'm not excited. She's fantastic. That's not where I'm going with this.
Okay, where you going?
Ladies and gentlemen, she's a lot of things. She's spectacular, actually.
Yes.
And congratulations on new mamahood.
Yes.
There's one thing she's not.
Uh-huh.
She ain't Beyonce.
Well, you didn't give no nuance to it. No. You just said Rihanna's no Beyonce.
Well,
if you'd have said Rihanna doesn't perform as well as Beyonce.
Well, let me give you an insight. Let me hook you up on the inside. Sherry Shepherd's team. I'm promoting my book last Tuesday. Sherry Shepherd's team comes up to me and they said, since you're here, we want a debate-like format. We want to have fun with it. I said, okay, bring it. No problem. I didn't know what they were going to ask, right? But I said, sure, no problem. So I'm expecting a debate, right? Rihanna's great. But I'm thinking, you got a lot to live up to. Because there's only one Beyonce. Now, you agree, fine. You disagree, fine. How we get to the point, why he got to pick two black women again? Really? Well, I just can't be a fan of both, but I prefer Beyonce over Rihanna. That's a crime.
Now,
I didn't know that.
In your book, you talk about learning lessons.
Yes.
And you have gotten in trouble for that before when you pitted Aisha Curry against Savannah James.
That's right. Listen, first of all, this.
Yeah.
Fair question.
Lala said, yeah.
Fair question. Lala, and I'm going to talk.
You said that tape cost you the Sports Center gig, which I didn't know.
I'm going to talk to Lala.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Let me explain what happened. So Steph Curry is in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. LeBron and Kyrie are coming. They won Game 5 after Draymond got suspended. Bogut and Iguodala got hurt. They win Game 5. Game 6, they coming at Golden State. They down 12 with about 4 minutes left. And Steph Curry fouls out. Steph Curry pulls out his mouthpiece, tries to throw it at the official, but misses it, hits a fan by accident, blah, blah, blah. Ayesha Curry goes ballistic. What y'all may not have known was that, and I love Ayesha Curry. I mean, no problem, throwing no shade on her whatsoever. I'm just telling you what happened. Prior to the game, she had tweeted that she was upset because they were backed up in traffic. Now, Jay-Z and Beyonce were coming to the game, but nobody knew. So the Cleveland Arena, the Gundam, whatever it was, right, the Quickest Loans Arena, they held up the traffic. So she was mad about that and was talking about how the wives and the family of the players for Golden State would be an inconvenience. She complained something else about the officiating, blah, blah, blah.
Wow, now you're putting Ayesha versus Beyonce?
No.
Wow, Steven.
How you see it? So crazy, man. Stop, man. So what happened is that she did that, and then she went off after Steph Curry, fouled out all of that other stuff. What I said was, you are representing your man at that particular moment in time. Anything that you do, it's not you, it's the wife of him. And so because of that, you have to guard yourself and be careful. But now that they've lost 2 straight and LeBron and the Cavs have been giving it to them, suddenly stuff is rigged. She's an adorable young lady with an incredibly promising future. I wish her nothing but love, respect, and happiness. But you can't do that. You just can't do that. And I'm quite sure somebody got to her, which is why she ultimately deleted the tweet. My other point that I would like to make, which will be deemed somewhat controversial, but I don't particularly give a damn, I will present in question form, rhetorical or otherwise. If that was Savannah, LeBron's wife, what would we be saying? And I got news for you. As beautiful as everybody wants to say Ayesha Curry is, and she is, Savannah is something special. Skip comes back at me and says, oh, please, what are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm jumping in like, wait a minute. You will get on LeBron about anything.
Yeah.
How all of a sudden this escapes you? You know what I'm saying? So that's how the whole Savannah Ayesha thing came up, because what I was saying was, if this were LeBron, you would have found an excuse to jump on him. And we all know that Savannah is phenomenal. So what are you talking about? That's all I was saying. If Lala is in a public position, if you are in a public situation in the moment and there's a tension that your spouse or your significant other could potentially bring to you that could make it detrimental to what you're trying to accomplish, they can't get in the way of that. That's all I was trying to say.
Wow, you've been in that position.
I've been in that position. The thing is that also nobody in this room has been married to an NBA player before. Day in and day out, you're hearing about things that are going on. You're getting vented to about everything. You have emotions. You act off emotions sometimes. So every night you're hearing about this, whatever's being said, and it's just building up, and you get protective, and then something just sets you off, and you want to say something because you realize your spouse has continuously taken the high road. I said earlier, I remember a time, we talked about it before you came, when I think I tweeted something at Skip Bayless, because I was like, yo, enough with the mellow slander every single day, and he's not saying anything, and I'm just like, this is enough, because now it's affecting the household, it's affecting the mood, it's affecting, so it becomes a bigger thing that it's like, somebody got to say something. Now, is it a right time and place for those things? Of course, but when you care about somebody, when you're protective, and when you're competitive, we're all competitors, and you act off emotion, you say things that might not be the right time, the right place, but at that time, you're not thinking like that.
That's absolutely true. And my point is that I didn't blame Ayesha Curry for anything. I was saying in that moment, you can't do that. I've never said a word about her prior to that, right? And so I said that. And when I said that, her response was, you're pitting 2 black women against each other. And I was like, what? How we get to that?
Well, you did, whether you realize it or not.
Okay, fine. I didn't look at it that way. But that's fine. If you're saying that I did, okay, well then now I'll correct it. I find out weeks later, the sports center, the 6 o'clock sports center that was supposed to be given to me, and it was taken away from me because of that one incident.
So what's going to be taken away from you because of Rihanna?
Shut up, man.
Nothing. And you know something? And if it ever does, fine. Because at the end of the day, there's a level of authenticity that has to come with what we do.
I agree.
I'm going to be me. Damn it, that's how I feel.
All right, we got more with Stephen A. Smith when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Hey, everybody, it's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest host, Lala, joining us. Now we have Stephen A. Smith in the building. Lala.
So do you just feel like in your position, you really just cannot care what anyone thinks about you? Because
No.
I feel like people always want to say, like, I don't care what anybody thinks about, but there is a point that everyone does care. And everyone has a place where they truly do want to be liked by people.
But I'm not saying I don't care about what people think in general, Lala. I'm saying there are certain things we can't care about because we know it's not as unfair and as inhumane as people are trying to make it out to be. If I sat up there and I disrespected Rihanna and I said I don't care, that's a problem. Because she doesn't deserve that. She's home. She's a new mom. She's a beautiful artist. She's doing her things. Most people would dream to have the life that she's had. She's earned it. I got nothing but mad love and respect for her. If I said something disrespectful like that and I didn't care, that's a problem. That's a lack of humanity. I would never do that. What I'm saying is it's not a crime to say, I'm a huge Beyonce fan. There is only one. And you about to go on the same stage she has blessed not once but twice. And there is a standard to live up to.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. You come on First Take. I'm sorry, y'all. There's a bar that's been set. I've said it. You come on Breakfast Club. There's a bar that's been set. Y'all said it. You do what the things, all the different things that you're doing with Power and now BMF. I've seen you. I'm watching what you're doing. You know, you continue to ascend. Well, damn it, everybody can't measure up to you. Now, that doesn't mean they're whack. It doesn't mean they're not gifted. It means they're not you.
You got a line in
That's
the book.
all.
You got a line in the book that kind of sums that up. You say on First Take, we capitalize on the kind of polarization people supposedly abhor. What's the word? Abhor?
I believe so. I'm trying to remember. I read it 11 times, but I'm just saying.
That's what that feels like, though.
In terms of what?
Like what you're discussing. Like it's the kind of polarization, you know, people act like they don't like, but we do it all the time.
But what I'm saying is this. You wake up and you pay attention. We all do it. You have a show. You know what's trending. You know what's newsworthy. You know what's percolating. And and not only that, you know who percolates. And so because of that, it determines what subject matter you're going to tackle because you're not doing the show for you. You're doing the show for the audience you're trying to reach. And I have an audience that has an expectation as it pertains to content. And so when we're talking about sports and it's me, there's a level of expectation that they have as it pertains to the issues I'm willing to tackle. I'm mindful and cognizant of that, and I operate accordingly. And when somebody questions that, I would remind them I've been number one for 11 years. Every month, every year for 11 years. So evidently, I kind of have an idea of what people want to see and hear.
All right.
You know, I know you got to go. I got one more question
Sure,
because it ties into all of this. In the no safety net chapter, you know, you talk about basically personalities who attack other personalities for things they say. Because you talk about, I think it was the Ray Rice scandal. And
Yes.
Everybody got upset with what you said about that. And I feel the same way. I'm like, man, if you got a microphone in front of you, you're going to say something at some point that you're going to get backlash for.
Yes.
So I don't understand when I see other personalities like calling for other personalities to be fired.
Yeah, it's weak.
Cancel,
It's weak.
yep.
Yeah. What it is, and remember this, all three of y'all here, remember what I'm about to say. When you're winning, they always coming for you. Because unfortunately, particularly in this day and age, their definition of winning, the closest they can get to it, is knocking you off your perch instead of creating one for their own. It's inevitable. And it's just like when he used to call me Donkey of the Day and all of this other stuff, and people expected me to have a problem with him. When I first met you, what did I say? I had no problem with it whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't attack me. He attacked what I felt about a particular issue. I know the difference. They wanted to create that divide. You're not creating that because I'm going to root for y'all. And I want y'all to root for me. And I'm going to root for a whole bunch of brothers and sisters to make it. But in the same breath, you have to be real and authentic about what's going on in the moment that is going on. And do what you can to enlighten folks if you feel you have an enlightening point of view. That's what you do, and you let the chips fall where they may. People who don't win are real good about doing what you describe. Let them keep doing it because it reminds you that you're a winner. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking about you.
I learned a lot from you, and I feel like it's vice versa. I do want to say this because I was really sitting here thinking about what we were talking about earlier, and I want to say this. It is important. Everyone can have an opinion, and who you like better is your opinion. Yes. But I will say this: as a black woman, let's acknowledge and celebrate the fact that we have two amazing, talented black women who were able to do the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Outside of sports, fans and players, the majority of people I know, that's the reason they watch the Super Bowl. Not for who's playing. They're watching for that halftime show. So let's acknowledge and uplift and applaud the fact that on such a huge forum, you had Beyonce, and now you have Rihanna.
That's right.
As a black woman, I'm proud of that. That's something that makes me proud. That doesn't take away from your opinion on who you like more, whatever. But at that moment, for me, it's about uplifting the fact that we need to celebrate that.
Well, let me end it by saying this. I completely agree with that. 1,000%. And what you're saying and what you would prefer is entirely different than someone throwing out an accusation that my sentiment was making it a divide between two black women. That's a difference. You're just simply saying they're both great. Let's celebrate them. No problem. No problem whatsoever. That's entirely different than...
And understanding that they're both the reason that majority of people are even watching.
That's right.
You guys are watching for the sports aspect, and majority of people are watching for that halftime.
But what happens is that when we question people's intent because they express something differently, what happens is then you then lose those folks that think like that because they're like, oh, here they go with this. And I'm like, no. At the end of the day, Rihanna is phenomenal. And she's got her own army, or navy, as they say.
Navy, yep.
Beyonce's got her crew. They're both fantastic. They both sell out stadiums and arenas. They're both making gobs and gobs of money, and they've earned it, okay? Much love and respect to you. Ain't no doubt about it. I ain't rooting against her. I'm just a Beyonce fan.
I think with these microphones, and it's something that we would debate to the end of time, intention versus impact.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of times my intention wasn't to offend, but then somebody like Allah got to be like, nah, you offended. You impacted that person in a negative way.
Right.
In those moments, you just got to apologize and keep it moving.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, still gotta go, guys.
Which is what I did.
Yeah.
But let me be very clear.
People didn't like your apology either, though.
Well, the hell with all that. First of all, Leslie Jones on Comedy Central, hilarious.
She got you.
So and she's supposed to. That's what she does. I wasn't offended by it at all. All right, because she's great.
Not even the hairline joke. You don't have to think about
bro,
that, like...
it's there, it's struggling. But I'm 55. Yeah. It ain't like I'm 35 walking around with this stuff. I'm 55. You know what? No.
Amy got it.
I might visit Hair Club for Men.
I got something.
I might visit Hair Club for Men because I don't think I'm Godzilla, but I ain't the most attractive dude in the world. But if my hairline move forward, I might have there might be hope for me. There might be hope for me. There might be hope for me.
I got some Manala rice water drops for you.
Okay. Does it work? Does it work?
It works.
It better work, Lala. It better work.
Charlamagne gonna try.
Let me tell you something right now. Because then they're gonna get on me for getting that as another sister. Because if it don't work, I'm blaming you, Lala. I'm blaming you right now. I'm just telling you right now. I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you, Lala. I'm telling you right now. Didn't you recommend this for me? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm telling you that right now. I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you so much. I just want to tell you one last thing.
Yeah, man.
We have a new studio.
Okay.
So now we have the option to go to you when we need some questions. So next season, the Cowboys start losing, and I need to go to you for some backup or some help.
You mean like a Zoom call?
Like a Zoom, right to that camera. We could patch you right in.
I got y'all.
And you could just...
I'm telling you right now. Cowboys going to the Super Bowl next year. I can't tell you.
I gotta go. I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's the Breakfast Club, man.
Y'all ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Our guest host Lala's hanging out with us today.
Hello, good morning.
And make sure you go watch that full interview with Stephen A. Smith. It'll be up on Breakfast Club YouTube page very shortly.
Lala wasn't letting up.
At all.
Not at all.
At all.
Don't play with La. All right, well, let's get to the rumors.
Rumor has it. Rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Yes, on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, so T.I. was on Club Shay Shay, the podcast hosted by Shannon Sharp, recently talking about his parenting skills because he has received a lot of criticism on his son, King Harris. And he said, we all got badass kids. So
whatever he's going through, I love him through it. And I can't say he a great kid enough, but the media don't talk enough about the good parts.
Thing that he does.
And, when we young, we kind of talk about things based on how we think they should be.
Right.
Rather than acknowledging them for how we know they are.
Right.
and I just try and, walk him through it. He get better every day, though. Right. I would like to shed light on the fact we all got bad-ass kids. Okay, now listen, don't make it seem like I'm the only one on here who got bad-ass kids.
We all go through.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you ain't got no bad-ass kids, you got one and you got lucky. You hear me? Anybody with 3 or more,
multiples,
you got one that you don't know what the hell you gonna do with. Right. You feel me?
Yeah.
He's right. You can't take all the responsibility for your kids' actions. You can be the best parent in the world, give them all the resources, all the tools, but they still gonna go out there and live life and be their own people.
They all gonna make stupid decisions like we all did. We all made decisions that we like, damn, I wish I didn't do that as a kid. It's the truth.
It's very true. But the issue is that when there is a kid making bad decisions or whatever, a lot of times people just automatically place all the blame on the parent.
That's right. Correct.
Or just assume that because the kid made bad decisions, that means the parent's not involved or the parent's not, checking in or participating. But that's just not always the case.
And that the streets don't have an allure, the world.
Right.
Like the world is going to influence your kids just as much as you do.
Yeah, your kids' friends, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So Sheryl Lee Ralph, Chris Stapleton, and Babyface are performing at the 2023 Super Bowl, the pre-show. So the NFL announced on Tuesday that Sheryl Lee Ralph will perform Lift Every Voice and Sing in the pre-show.
Is that on TV? Is that televised?
I think so. And R&B crooner Babyface will also perform with the rendition of America the Beautiful. So that's in addition to, obviously, Rihanna performing at the halftime show.
Okay.
And like I was saying to Stephen A. Smith, most people that I know are watching the Super Bowl for this stuff. They want to watch the halftime show. They want to watch the pre-show, see who's performing, and get into it.
You said something during Stephen A. Smith's interview that was real. You was like how we should celebrate the fact that we've had Beyonce and Rihanna performing at these Super Bowl halftime shows. We forget Mary J. Blige was there last year too.
And Mary performed, killed it last year too. Yeah,
it's unbelievable, and I feel like that's what we should be talking about and being excited about and showing up for them and loving on them and supporting them. I mean, there was a time where you would never see something like that
at all.
That's true.
As a black woman empowerment, it's just so powerful to turn on TV and see those images. It's so inspiring and it's necessary, and I think that's what should be celebrated and talked about more than
facts.
Oh, I like this one better than this one, or I think that. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but even when there's opinions, there's a time and place for everything.
I do think Mary J. Blige needs her own set, though. We can have that discussion.
Absolutely.
I think Mary J. Blige can headline her own Super Bowl halftime show. I'd like to see that.
Absolutely.
Agreed. 100%.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. Charlamagne, who you giving that donkey to?
4 after the hour, I need a woman named Carmela Maines to come to the front of the congregation. We're going to talk crack pipes and butt plugs. What do they have in common? We'll discuss. What?
All right. We'll get to that next. Whatever you want to do. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Looking to turn a small bet into a big payday? With DraftKings Sportsbook same-game parlays, you can pocket more cash when you combine multiple bets from one game. Download the app, sign up with code ENVY, that's ENVY, and get a special offer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
Make sure you tell them to watch out for Florida, man.
The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Yes, you are a donkey.
A Florida man attacked an ATM for a very strange reason. It gave him too much money. Florida man is arrested after deputies say he rigged the door to his home in an attempt to electrocute his pregnant wife. Police arrested an Orlando man for attacking a flamingo.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Donkey of the day with Charlamagne the God. I don't know why y'all keep letting him get y'all like this.
Donkey of the day for Wednesday, January 25th goes to Carmela Ann Maines of Clearwater, Florida. Now, what does your Uncle Charla always tell you about the great state of Florida? Say it with me. The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida, and today is no exception. See, Carmela was taken into custody Wednesday in Clearwater, Florida, after she failed to show up to court to face shoplifting charges. Now, why? No, not why. While she was being processed at the county jail, a body scan revealed an anomaly in her genital area. I don't even know why I'm using big words like anomaly for no reason. They found something odd in her genitals. I know what you're thinking. Was it a penis? All right. It can be a little confusing when someone tells you they are a woman, but that's actually just what they identify as. And then when you get down there, whoa, you're staring at a whole plate of Franken beans. But no, it wasn't a penis. Okay, it was a pipe. All right, not the kind of pipe that produces baby batter to procreate more life, but the kind of pipe that people put crack in and smoke it. You heard me correct. Crack Fried cocaine rocks. This woman had a glass crack pipe in her vagina. Okay, yes, when officials conducted a strip search of the suspect, they found a glass crack pipe protruding from the woman's poom-poom. Carmela then removed the crack pipe from her vagina and intentionally threw it on the ground and stepped on it in an effort to destroy the evidence. Mind you, she did all of this in front of the officers who had just discovered said evidence on her, but that's not why she's getting donkey of the day. It could be, but it's not. It's part of it. The main reason she's getting donkey of the day is because of her excuse as to why there was a whole crack pipe in her vagina. Carmela said that the crack pipe wasn't a crack pipe, but it was a sex toy. She said this despite the fact that it was consistent with a pipe commonly used to smoke crack cocaine. And it had burnt markings all over it, okay? If she was really thinking, she could have said the burnt markings came from that new strain of gonorrhea that's going around, okay? It don't just burn humans. But nope, she said that the crack pipe she got caught with, was a sex toy. Let me tell you something, Carmela. You might could have got that lie off if you wouldn't have put it in your vagina. I repeat, you might could have got that lie off if you didn't put the crack pipe in your poom-poom. If you're going to try to convince people a crack pipe is a sex toy, then guess where you got to put the crack pipe? In the crack of your ass. Oh, okay? All right, listen, man. There's a lot of people who are into anal play nowadays. All right? Cosmopolitan, I saw this article on MB's computer. Cosmopolitan just came up. No, it was, he had his computer open and I saw it. Cosmopolitan came out with a list of the 15 best butt plugs for 2023. You got the Jimmy Jane Aerial Glass Plug. Would you like to hear the review?
Nope.
Are we really talking about butt plugs?
This is true. This is real.
Okay.
The review was, I got the Aerial, and let me tell you, wow. I was a little nervous that my inexperienced back door might have difficulty, but I was surprised when it did not. A bit of warming up and some lube, and this thing had me reaching my O. Like most glass toys, you can use it cold or warmed up, and I have to say, playing with this toy was amazing. I highly recommend this toy, end quote. That was a review. Why did I use that one? Why did I highlight that toy? Because it's a glass anal plug. Just like a crack pipe is made of glass. It's time to rebrand crack pipes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, they can actually be sex toys. They even have the perfect name. Pipes are already slang for penis. Asses have cracks, so this is a pipe for your ass. All right, butt plugs come in all forms: silicone, glass, metal anal plugs. But the crack pipe could be a glass anal plug. I can see the reviews now on Cosmopolitan for the crack pipe. Such a great product, especially for the price. It's only $20, reads one review. Perfect for beginners and seasoned pros alike. Big enough to be satisfying, but small enough that it was comfortable to wear for a good period of time. I recommend the crack pipe to anyone. It's smoking. Bong! That's how you make a crack pipe a sex toy, Carmela. Not the way you did it. Please give Carmela Maines the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
Oh, now you are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day. Yeehaw.
Now tell me, Laliza, you don't want a crack pipe after that review. Come on now.
No interest in that or butt plugs. But that's just my personal preference.
Okay.
Whatever floats your boat.
What about you, Envy?
Want to play a game?
No, I don't want to play a game.
I want to play a game.
I'm going to be honest, man. This woman is on crack, and she's from Florida. I don't know what she is. When I look at her mugshot,
let's play a game.
Okay, here we go. Let's play a game of Guess What Race It Is! All right.
La first.
Carmela Ann Maines of Clearwater, Florida. She got caught with a crack pipe in her vagina, and she told officers it was a sex toy. Lot Leezy, guess what race she is?
Caucasian.
Okay. What makes you think that, Lalizi?
This is just what I think. This is just how I feel.
Okay,
I'm sticking to it.
All right.
Did I win the money?
Envy,
Yes.
Carmela Ann Maines of Clearwater, Florida, got caught with a crack pipe in her vagina, told officers it was a sex toy. Guess what race she is?
See, this is a tough one.
Okay.
See, because my black people, they like to hide stuff. They like to maneuver. They don't mess with the
That's
police.
not just a black thing. Knock it off.
Yes, it is.
That is not just a black thing. Everybody got asses and vaginas. Well, not everybody.
What?
Most, everybody got an ass.
Everybody.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I'm going to go with white.
Okay.
Shake it off.
For what reason?
I don't know.
It's just a feeling.
Seemed like
Just a feeling?
some white crackheadish stuff.
Okay. Well, Lala, Envy, both of you are right. She's Caucasian!
Yes, I said it first.
Yes, you got it. You got it.
She's
Yes.
definitely a crackhead.
All
But you
right.
can tell why I was a little confused, right?
What? She looks like a crackhead. What do you mean?
Well, she don't look like a woman. I tell you, that was-
You know what? Let's keep it moving. All right. You know what?
More
spin off
water,
of that
less
real
crack.
Stupid, man.
Can't believe there's a vagina in this one.
All right. Thank you for that
Just
donkey
saying.
today. Up next, come on, Wusa. All right.
She look like she got a vagina. Come on.
Come on, Wusa. Wusa.
Okay.
All right. Now, this morning Lala came up here and she was hot. She was on fire. I don't know why. She came in at 6 o'clock this morning, was on fire. She was like, I have something I want to talk today on air, so I'm gonna let her go.
And say F marriage.
Yeah,
Like,
so
whoa.
do we pose the question first?
No,
and then-
just tell them how you
so-
feel. Get it off your chest first.
I was talking about, I feel like currently marriage is not a goal for people. I don't hear people who aren't married saying like, I want to get married. You just start hearing it less and less. Like before that was a goal. Like before social media and just the way people interact now. I'm not in conversations with people who are talking about like, I can't wait to meet someone and get married. Now people say, yeah, I want to meet somebody, be in a relationship, have this bond, but I don't need the marriage piece to feel like it's successful. And most, I'm not saying all, be careful with my words, most married people that I know are miserable and not happy and don't want to be married. They would prefer to be single. And what's happening is people look at the stats and they say, oh, well, divorce rates are going down. But the issue is less people are getting married. People don't want to get married.
Now, Lala, the first thing people gonna think is Lala be in a lot of weddings.
that is true.
They gonna start looking at all the weddings you've been in over the last few years. They're gonna look at your friend circle that's married, and they're gonna be like, "Is Lala saying that they all miserable?"
No, I'm not saying that. I'm because you're just talking about I'm saying
In
in
general.
general.
Okay,
in
got you.
general.
Well, let's
general. I don't talk to people in general who are just like marriage. Yeah, love my marriage. Yeah, and it's just
You
not
talk to
what
me
you
in
hear.
Charlamagne.
You guys are a small minority. And what I'm saying is people who are not married, hear me out, I don't hear them talking as marriage, looking at marriage as a goal.
Damn, Lala choosing violence against married people this morning.
Looking at marriage as a goal, but the reason I want to talk about it because I want to get a better understanding of why. And also people are starting to feel like marriage is really just a business agreement between two people. It's like, I don't need that. I'd rather meet somebody, have love, have loyalty, but I don't need the marriage part of it all.
Now, people are going to also say Lala feels that way because Lala just recently got divorced.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And
Let's talk about it when we come back. We'll take some calls. Is marriage still a goal? 800-585-1051. Let's talk about it. Call us up right now.
Let's be respectful with our opinions, people. Okay? Respectful conversation.
All right. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with The Breakfast Club.
Talk about it. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We have our guest host, Lala, here, who came in this morning on fire.
Came in with an F marriage t-shirt on.
That's right. Sure did. Sure did.
I did not say that. I'm a person that I like to get an understanding. I want to know why is it like that?
So
And
why, for people just tuning in, why is it like what?
why does it feel like marriage is not a goal for people in this day and age? With social media, people aren't even dating like that. People are saying, I pulled up statistics, people are saying dating's not even a priority anymore. They have other things they would rather do than date or meeting people, you know, in the traditional way. So people are saying because of that, they have no interest in getting married.
So you wouldn't get married again?
I wouldn't get married again, but I was married. So at least I could say I did it. And, you know, it didn't work out the way I had planned, but it's not something I would want to do again. But I did it. So I'm talking about people who are saying they have no interest in ever doing it or wanting to do it. It's not like a goal of people, and even people that are in relationships, a lot of them are not saying like the goal for our relationship is to get married. It's like the goal is to be together, have a dope relationship, you know, and be companions forever. But people are not feeling like this. The measure of success in relationships is like getting married.
But do you feel like not getting married is the easy way out? Meaning, when you first get married, and let's say you and Mello, or me and Gil, or Charlamagne and his wife, when y'all have problems, you're married. Y'all have to work through it. It's not like you can say, I'm out, I'm one. Y'all have to work through it. You're married. So there's going to be good times and bad times.
Through sickness and in
But
health.
if you're not married and somebody gets on your nerves, you could just be like, you know what, I don't want to deal with it. I'm out. So it doesn't make the relationship as strong because there's nothing binding to you, because it's almost like I can be out when I want to be out.
Right, but for a lot of people, they'll say that the reason that they don't just want to be out is because it's a business agreement. There's paperwork between the two of you. So if I get out, now I got to deal with splitting assets or anything like that, or dealing with lawyers and paperwork, and people don't want to do that. So it's like, is it a union of love, and like Charlamagne just said, till death do us part, or is it a piece of paper that's binding two people? I always say marriage is really easy to get in and really hard to get out. It's not. It's hard to get out, and people don't really understand that when you're dealing with lawyers and what you have to pay and things like that. It's really hard to get out.
I wonder if this is more of a product of us being disconnected because of technology and social media. Like, folks don't have real connections anymore, and they aren't making real connections anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if this is just a byproduct of that. Like, people not being able to establish real connections anymore. So there is no goal to be married, because there's no goal to even make a real connection.
Well, it was always a goal because my parents are married, right? And they're still married to this day, 50, 60 years married, or 50, whatever it is. But for me, it's like, yeah, every marriage we have our problems, right? You get into arguments, you get into fights, it takes communication, it takes work. But the happiest days of my life is being married. My wife comes home today and I'm excited. Like, I'm happy, she's happy. Like, we can't wait to see each other because
I get it.
It's you know, laying next to my wife, but it's also, I met her at 15.
That's what I was about to say.
16. There wasn't nothing. There was nothing. I had glasses and braces and acne. And
you was a nerd then, you a nerd now.
Watch your mouth.
And she loved that nerd the whole way through.
Watch your mouth.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Listen,
I'm not a nerd now.
I get what you're saying. I love being married. I've been blessed to be with the same person for almost 25 years, so that's my best friend. I was able to marry my best friend, but that's what I go back to. We were able to establish a real connection.
In a time where you weren't dealing with social media and the way people aren't even talking to each other anymore. It's DMs, it's apps, it's all these other things, but that connection of like talking to someone again, that's not happening anymore. So what I'm saying is, this conversation that you guys just shared with me about both of your marriages, I'm saying people are hearing that less and less and less.
Right.
And marriage, imagine young people dating are saying dating is no longer a priority because they have better things to do.
But are people getting married because they're actually best friends? Like, they really are friends? Or is it, she look good, he look good, let's get married, we got money?
I don't even think people are taking the time to connect with someone enough to call them their best friend.
Right. So what are couple goals then? When everybody be online and they be like, Sierra and Russell, couple goals, and who this person is, couple goals, what are those? What does that mean? They just want to be booed up?
Well, here's the thing. Like, obviously, Sierra's one of my best friends, and she has an incredible marriage, and Russell's an incredible guy and an incredible relationship. I will just say that, to me, I'm happy that I'm able to see that, because that's not the norm of what I see. That's not the norm of what I see. So I'm happy that I'm able to have that example, to still have that hope that that kind of love and connection really does exist, but that's not the norm of what I see.
That's good, because what she's saying is true, because the norm of what we see is the guy cheating, and then the woman expected to always be there. Right. You know what I mean?
But not only that, think about it like this. If you take care of your wife or your girl and you do too much, they call you a simp. You a sucker. You doing too much. You this way. But that's your queen. Aren't you supposed to take care of your best friend, your queen, your girl, your love, your life? Aren't you supposed to give flowers? Aren't you supposed to do those things? Right. That's what my dad taught me. That's what my dad did to my mom.
Right. Yeah. But I'm just saying, again, it goes back, in this day and age, that's not how it's looked at
Last
anymore.
question before we go to the phone lines. What do you tell your son about marriage?
It's an interesting and sometimes difficult conversation, because we're all products of what we saw growing up. Correct. So unfortunately, my son saw a failed marriage. He does still see two people that genuinely love and care about each other and are amazing parents to him, and we work collectively as a unit. But he did see a broken marriage. Gotcha. So I don't expect him to view marriage as this incredible thing, because I saw my parents not be married anymore. That's his view on it. So I have to tell him, like, that's not, you can meet someone and love them and fall in love and want to get married, and it's a beautiful thing. And it's like, but mom,
gotcha.
Look, I don't like that failed marriage talk, though. I don't think that the marriage failed just because two people, grew apart or whatever. Right. Like, it don't mean that you failed. Like, y'all did that.
We did it, and we did it for a long time.
That's what I'm saying.
I was when it was good, it was good.
That's right.
Hello, who's this?
Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa. Good morning.
Hey, Vanessa.
Hey, Lala.
Hey.
We're saying, is marriage still a goal, Vanessa?
Marriage is still very much a goal of mine.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So what you waiting on?
Are you dating? You got a man? How's it looking?
I am dating with a purpose.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that.
The thing about me is I'm a very confident. I'm very tall, but I'm beautiful. So, like, my standards are high. Everybody says sometimes I need to lower my standards. I refuse to date anybody short.
That's disrespectful. You disrespectful.
But you know what?
You're going to miss your blessing.
Now, my assistant is 6'3", and I tell her the same thing. I'm like, you're not going to find somebody taller. Like, it's not as many
First
people.
of all, have you seen your assistant's bangs? Mercedes is a very pretty girl, but somebody need to draw them bangs back like blinds.
Shut up. Leave her bangs alone, man. Leave her bangs alone, man. Go ahead, Vanessa.
But the thing about it is like, I have friends and, like, friends who are married, friends who are single, and we all talk. And I've really listened to my married friends about, like, their marriage and stuff like that. Sometimes it does turn me off when I hear things about men cheating, women cheating. And I'm just like, what is the purpose?
Right.
But then I'm still, like, very, very hopeful that, you know, I don't think like Charlamagne say, all black men don't cheat. I don't think all black men do cheat, but I do think at some point in time, men have cheated at one point in time in their lives.
Queen, God is telling me to tell you this right now. I just got this download from God. Your blessing is 5'5".
Yo, shut up, man.
Your blessing is 5'5".
No, he's not.
You're missing your blessing because you want to keep
Vanessa,
your head to the sky. You should be optimistic,
Vanessa,
yes, but you
right.
gotta look down a little bit, boo.
He's right. Like, don't block your blessing.
Charlamagne, I also wear heels.
I don't care.
I know.
Your blessing is 5'6".
How about look dating a 5'5" man? That's my child.
You look happy. You'll look happy. That's what you'll look like.
I cannot be happy.
Yes, you will. Vanessa, don't block your blessing. I tell my assistant at the same time. And let me ask you a question. Do people do this to you all the time? They come up to you and act like they're playing basketball, post you up?
Yes.
Charlamagne does that all the time.
I did play basketball. If I tell a man like I play basketball, he'd be like, "Oh, I can school you on the court," and I'd be like, "I don't want to do that."
You
but
do.
that's not what I want.
Do you know that? Do you know Jesus probably was 5'5"? Because the average height of men around that time was 5'5". Scholars have said this. Y'all are missing y'all blessings, not dating short men.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you.
800-585-1051. Is marriage still a goal? It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Can we get into a little Mary and Meth, please? Yeah, let's get into that. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Call me. Get your opinion to the Breakfast Club topic. Come on. 800-585-1051.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our special guest host, Lala, joining us today. And she was talking about marriage. And we're asking, is marriage still a goal? And La, for herself, she said, no. You don't want to get married.
No, because I've done it already. I've checked it off the list. I've done it already. It was good while it was good. It ultimately, didn't work out, and I don't need to revisit that.
Just like I told that last caller, Lau, you might need to just try again with shorter men. You know what I mean?
If my blessing comes in size 5'5".
That's it.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, what's up? This is D from Jersey.
What's up, bro? Talk to us.
Peace, King.
What's going on?
Hey.
Say what up to Lala.
Hello, Miss Lala.
Good morning.
How you doing? Well, marriage, I got married 6 months ago. I love it. I wouldn't have changed nothing ever. Like, it's just a beautiful thing. I wanted to get married.
It's nice to hear.
I courted my wife for years, and we finally tied the knot, and it's beautiful, man. But you gotta want to be married.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta want to put in the work. This is a work. This is another job. You have to want to do it.
That's real.
All right. Do it. If you don't want to do it, most people stay single or go on Instagram.
I'm with you.
Hello, who's this?
This is Ebony from New Haven, Connecticut. How are you guys doing?
Hi, Ebony.
Talk to us, Ebony.
Hi, Lala.
Hey.
I personally feel like it has to do everything with music and who people are listening to now.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
A lot of the music out now is portraying a lot of no love, get a whole bunch of hoes. It's just a whole lot of talk about no love, even though people are actually looking for love. Like, nobody wants to be alone. Everybody wants to have somebody, but everyone's going to get numerous of people instead of just one and settling.
But does not wanting to be alone mean you have to be married? You can get a dog. Have a little boyfriend.
Yes, that's true. You can. But what I'm saying is the view of music now is what is making people feel like they don't want to go and actually find love, fall in love, and then allow themselves to settle down.
That's a great point.
But I also would say this, growing up, how old are you, Ebony?
I'm 30.
So growing up, you heard music the same way. You know, you could go back to Jay-Z, whether it was Big Pimpin' or Girls, 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 or some of those other songs that we grew up to as well was kind of the same thing. R&B has changed a lot, but we grew up to songs like that as well.
That's true. That is true. But I think it's a lot like the music videos are just a little bit more graphical now. And I guess people are able to express themselves a lot more.
I agree with that. And I think there was more of a balance back then.
It was a balance.
Of a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not so much of that.
I agree. Even in R&B. Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Michelle.
Hey,
Hi,
Michelle.
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 Where you calling from?
Jersey.
Okay, talk to us.
I definitely believe that marriage, in the sense that we have been indoctrinated to believe in, might be played out, not necessarily a goal. I think you have to understand what people view marriage as, because a lot of people don't think that it takes standing in front of a judge, a preacher, or signing paper that you pay the state for to be married. Marriage is largely about commitment. Because honestly, if it takes a piece of paper for you to be faithful to me, I don't know if I want you anyway.
You don't need a ring to be my wife. What Meth say?
Just be there for me, and I'm gonna make sure.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all.
Right.
Even
That's a
for the
great
Bible thumpers, if you look at in the Bible, in the Old Testament, all it took for marriage was sex and a commitment.
Well, that's what
the commitment was what made the difference between your wife and your concubine.
You're right, but you know the problem with the Bible thumper is somebody putting there that you can't have sex before marriage. So a lot of people started getting married
I
just
don't
to have
think
sex.
anybody put in there that you can have sex before marriage. People really got to read their Bible, because that's not in the Bible.
Oh.
That's the thing that man has begun to tout. Because sex is the marriage, actually. So all of this about shacking, all of this about fornication, if you really understand the transliteration of the word fornication, if you are a real Hebrew, Greek scholar, and you go and look into the meaning of these words, fornication is not about sex. Fornication is idolatry, idolizing other gods.
So you telling me that everybody that we've had sex with, we've been married to?
No,
Oh.
not if you didn't make a commitment to be with that person. Remember, there is a clear delineation. You have to make that commitment. You have to decide, because honestly, marriage is a contract between people. But whether that requires a signature from somebody at the state and a license where you're literally paying to be committed to someone, I think that's really the question.
Yeah, I see your point on that part.
Yeah.
I see your point on that part.
That's why in the new, the LeBron James version of the Bible, it said, I don't love them hoes. Because you got to be very clear about not being committed to people when you sleep with them.
What's the moral of the story? What's the moral of the story, Lau?
The moral of the story to me is that times have definitely changed. It actually saddens me a little bit that that's not the goal anymore for a lot of people. But we're living in a new day and age, a new way of meeting people, a new way of socializing, a new way of communicating with each other. And I do feel like you can have an amazing commitment with somebody without necessarily that piece of paper that binds you to that person.
But you did catch the bouquet at the last wedding you were at, so.
She catches the bouquet at every wedding. Lala, the best wide receiver in the game at them weddings.
The thing is, they throw it right at my face. There's nothing I can do. It's coming right towards me.
Well, if you decide to do it again, La, just know short men make better husbands. These are statistical facts, okay? You can Google it, all right? We make up in wisdom what we lack in stature. Short guys make better partners, okay? And if you marry one, your relationship is more likely to last.
Then you can
all
carry
right?
them on your back if you need to walk around, too.
This is a fact. I'm not even making this up. Do the research.
Where did you get these
Yeah,
stats
what
from?
facts? Yes.
Google.
Cite your sources.
It seems shorter men make more faithful partners. A survey done by Ashley Madison, which is the dating site for married people.
Is that for real?
Yes, it says taller men are twice more likely to cheat than the ones whose height is less than 5 feet 10 inches. Your blessing, ladies, is 5'6". All right, 5'5".
How tall are you?
And you know what else? Think about how when you tall, you see everything.
Correct.
When you're short, I don't even see 90% of the women.
Oh my goodness.
I can only see my eye level.
I can't believe there's a stat that
Yes.
says that. Wow.
Get you a short man.
Wow.
That's your
All right.
blessing, ladies.
All right. Well, thank you. All right. Well, we got rumors coming up talking about Kim K. You staying?
I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest host in the building, Lala. Now let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Kim Kardashian.
Rumor has it, rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
on The Breakfast Club.
Now, it looks like Pete Davidson removed all his tattoos that he dedicated to his ex, Kim Kardashian. Now, you know, Pete Davidson is 29 years old, and he got a bunch of tattoos on his body. I guess saying that my girl is a lawyer, and a couple of other tattoos. He got one that says KNSCP, which people believe is for Kim's 4 kids, North St. Chicago and Psalm. So he got them all removed.
God damn, but what kind of witchcraft do the Kardashians be doing to people?
What you mean?
Yo, you know what kind of witchcraft you must have on people to be having them get tattoos like that?
And not married.
God damn. But, you know, Pete, my little bro, I love Pete to
But
death.
not only her, but the kids' names. That's not yours.
Whoa. What kind of voodoo is in that vagina?
What kind of voodoo is in that? I don't know. All right, now
that's why Lala's not in here, y'all.
Yeah, that's the reason why she's in a bathroom break. Now, Kanye West was spotted dining with his new, I guess, wife, because they saying that they got married. But the thing was the daughter North was with them.
I don't like that either, man.
I think that's too soon.
Yeah, I mean, the same way we say that about women when we see, men that they just started getting with around the kids. It's the same thing for the guys. Like,
I agree.
You don't. I don't think you. I don't know, but I would just assume. You don't know that young lady
They need
like
some
that.
time, like a couple of months.
Man, yeah.
Make sure
man.
that person's gonna stay around.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's what I think.
But let me mind my business.
Yeah. Now, lastly, this is a story. People are mad at Aretha Franklin.
That's not real, Envy.
It's not real?
No.
That's not a real story?
No. That's a parody account.
Oh.
Trust me, I was ready to go in on when I saw that story. Okay, but it's not real.
It's not real?
It's a satire. It's a parody.
Well, let me just tell the people what's not a real story that our producers up here gave to me. They said Aretha Franklin song, A Natural Woman, was offensive by the LGBTQ community. But
yeah, we got to be very careful in regards to things like that, simply because those are the type of stories that people put out there just to cause divisiveness amongst communities. You know what I mean? Like, COINTELPRO is real, especially in this day and age of the internet. So, you got to be very careful when you see stuff like that. Not because anybody's afraid of the LGBTQ community in any way, because folks know they will raise holy hell, and they will try to get you canceled. But the reality is those stories just cause divisiveness. You know what I mean? So you really got to double check and triple check, before you go out there and see if situations like that is real. But I saw mad people from the LGBTQ community, denouncing that story. Like my man David Johns. Salute to David Johns. David Johns, he's one of the people who said the same thing I'm saying. He was like, these stories are made to cause divisiveness, amongst us. We actually should play David. Let's play what David said about that story.
Okay, let's play it right here.
Now I really want people to put some respect on Queen Aretha's name and to stop using LGBTQIA plus folk as weapons of mass distractions. The activist in question in this story that was sent to me so many times is a parody account that was started in January of this year by an organization in Norway. For folks that have questions about things impacting the trans community, there are trans-led organizations that do that work. Because what this does play on is some of the worst fears about conversations to ensure that we can all be free and have access to the rights and privileges that so many people take for granted. Let's stop this, good people. Let's spread positive messages and actually learn to look for sources and citations.
Yep, he's absolutely right.
Oh, and let me put some respect on David's name, man. That's Dr. David J. Johns. Okay? Dr. David J. Johns, man.
There you go.
Salute to my guy, David Johns.
All right. And that is your rumor report. Now, we got to send a happy birthday to Alicia Keys. Today is Alicia Keys' birthday. She's 43 years old, so we're going to get on a couple of Alicia Keys joints in the mix. And don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Your company has goals this year. Find the right people to help you achieve them with ZipRecruiter, where 4 out of 5 employees get a quality candidate within their first day. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/breakfast. ZipRecruiter.com/breakfast. BREAKFAST. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got our guest host with us, Lala. She's been guest hosting yesterday and today. Hopefully we can get it for a couple days, but she's looking at like this 4 o'clock in the morning, NV, ain't it?
She right in Brooklyn, maybe. Maybe.
You know what it is? Once you get up and get going, then I have all the energy. It's just the initial initial
Yes.
It makes it hard.
And Lala has somebody very special joining us this morning.
Yes, I'm so honored to welcome Commissioner Commissioner Luis Molina here to the Breakfast Club. And, Commissioner Molina is a huge part of the reason why I'm able to go to Rikers with my Initiative 360 and do the work that I do. And I just wanted him to come and talk about Rikers and some of the incredible changes he's making there, and just chop it up a little bit. Welcome.
No, good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you to be here. So, Commissioner Molina, I just wanted to ask you, and we've talked about it before, but you're so passionate about what you do. You're so passionate about changing the narrative of Rikers Island. And I just wanted to ask you, where does that passion and that heart that you have come from? Because it motivates me. It wakes me up every day and gives me that extra push to do what I do. I'm learning so much from you. Where does that passion and commitment come from?
Well, for me, it comes from just my lived experience. I've had very close family members that have been incarcerated on Rikers Island back when we had adolescents. And that impacted my parents' marriage. It impacted our family unit. And I had opportunities growing up. I grew up with both my mom and dad in my life. A lot of kids don't have that, though we did have struggles. And when I think people that look like us are blessed with opportunities to manage agencies where you're dealing with the majority of individuals are black and brown, that's just the reality of the criminal justice system in America, then I have an obligation, people that look like us have an obligation to really make a difference so that our lived experiences are within the policies and operations of how we manage and really care for that population.
Absolutely. And Commissioner, I was going to ask you, how do you keep that passion and stay with that passion when every day you're getting, criticized about something, or everything is just a negative narrative is constantly being put out, and I'm the one constantly screaming from the mountaintops, look what's happening. There's so many amazing things happening at Rikers that you never hear about. There's so many lives being changed. There's so many incredible programs. There's so many things that you are doing. How do you deal with that? Because you got to just have a strong backbone for that kind of thing.
Sure. For me, human beings are worth it, right? I think for the people that are justice involved, for the men and women that work there, we are a majority agency, black and brown, 44% women. That is a big compared to other law enforcement agencies in our country. So the work is worth it, and the people are worth fighting for, those that are incarcerated and those that are working there, contract providers, volunteers like yourself. We really need a holistic approach to really solving America's criminal justice issue. And for too long, I think as a country, we've done just enough to make people seem like we're doing a lot, and we just keep individuals just in a state of mediocrity and in a state of poverty, right? And we really need to make a difference and really disrupt how we manage criminal justice in this country.
What's the biggest things that you face, your biggest obstacles? I've had family members at Rikers, and everybody that ever gets locked up in New York City, the biggest thing is they want to get bailed out before taking that trip over to Rikers. So what is the biggest thing that you face and the biggest obstacle?
Well, I think there were a number of big obstacles when we came in January 1st. We had a staffing crisis where a significant number of staff weren't coming to work, right? We stopped programming, and I think when you're dealing with a vulnerable population...
When you say staff, you mean correction officers?
Correction officers.
Okay.
A lot were out at the beginning of the year, and that was an ongoing thing in the latter part of 2021. So we needed to get staff back to work. But we needed to also recognize that we didn't have an organizational health strategy to support the staff that's dealing with a very challenging population, while at the same time during a pandemic. They also shut down programming, and I think when you're dealing with people that are in custody, whether it's patients in a hospital, you need all of the ecosystem to still continue to work in order for that to happen. So our biggest challenge really has been the mismanagement and really the dismantling of a core part of the criminal justice system in the city. When you think about corrections, the corrections department spends the most time with those that are justice involved. When you get arrested by the police, you may not see that police officer unless you go to trial. And then in many cases, defendants are not really engaging consistently either with the prosecutor or even with their own defense attorneys, right? They go to court every time. There may be a new defense attorney that's managing their case. So we have a time to try to engage with the individual to deal with the root drivers of why there are justice involved. And I think that's very, very important work that has to be done. So I think there's a number of complex challenges. We've come a long way over the last year, but we have a long way to go.
You're the commissioner of the Department of Corrections, and they call these institutions correctional facilities, right? But what is actually being done to correct these prisoners. Like a lot of times they get thrown in jail, they don't get any resources, they don't learn any trades that when they get out they can actually be productive in society. They're not getting great education, the food is terrible, so their health isn't being benefited. So what is actually being done to correct prisoners?
Sure, that's a great question, and I think the mayor talks about this all the time about solving these upstream problems. So we have to understand that a lot of people that are in justice involved are there because of a lack of a nationwide public health strategy to deal with issues like mental illness, substance abuse addiction. Sometimes that's co-occurring and you have both. I think when you look at corrections, you have to understand that there's two parts of it. New York City Department of Corrections is a jail, so it's a temporary detention place, and that's what it's meant for. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have a responsibility and try to improve people's outcomes. So we do not determine who comes to us, but we have an obligation as an organization to try to improve their outcomes. Now, in many cases, we're dealing with individuals that we're offering educational opportunities, access to healthcare and treatment that they didn't have in their own communities for whatever reason. Trying to deal with vocational training. But because their time with us is so temporary, the level of engagement that you have at jail, while important, is not the same type of long-term engagement that you may have in a state prison.
Okay, last question, I think about jail, right? Jail should be humane, but not necessarily nice. Because it's jail, right? So I want to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 4 seasons, what do you think the conditions of a jail should be?
So I think jail at its core has to be on a foundation of humanity and managing individuals, right? You're dealing with human beings, right? Especially for those that are young adults, their brain is still going through brain development, and you want to take all of the drivers into consideration of why somebody's justice involved. So yeah, you want to be humane, but understand that, again, we don't have a role in punishment, right? We have a role in making sure that we're providing a safe and secure environment. So for programs can be successful for those that want to engage in programming to deal with their issue, we remind ourselves at the jail level that they have not been convicted, so they're still presumed innocent. And that adds a certain layer of making sure that we're empathetic to that. But remind ourselves, our job is not to punish people. Our job is to provide a custodial service of those that the court has deemed need to be within the care and control of the government versus being out in public.
All right.
Got it.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Thank
I
you
was
for
so
all that you do.
happy to have you here today, and thank you for opening up the doors and allowing me to come in and do my work and fulfill my passion. It's incredible what you do, and you're such an amazing leader for all of us. So thank you so much.
Tell them the name of the program, La, for people.
So my program is 360. Hey, my 360 crew, your shout out is coming soon. So get ready. Get ready. Get around the radio. It's coming soon. The 360 initiative. I'll talk a little bit about it when I shout out the whole crew.
All right. It's the Breakfast Club. Positive Notes up next. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest host for today, Lala. Now, you got some shout-outs, La.
Yeah, so my initiative at Rikers Island is called the 360 Initiative, and it's made up of some incredible young men who are really, really committed to doing a 360 in their life and changing their lives around and just being incredible, members of the community upon release, and those that have to continue on to their journey and serve some time, just changing how they're thinking to just be productive while incarcerated as well. So I got some shout outs. I got to shout out my family, Double S, Day G's, Noe, Yachty, Mo Diggs, Benny, Les, Rondo, JR, Dre. What's up to the whole crew? And all of this can't be possible without Big White, DC, Pastor T, Brittany, Podcast B, definitely for holding us down, and the staff there who have just been so incredible in helping us every step of the way. I just want to show them some love. You always just hear so many negative things, and there's so many people that work in Rikers that are just so passionate about what they do and just have such amazing hearts and really do want to make a change. And I think some of those people that I know should be acknowledged. So shout out to, obviously, Commissioner Molina, who we're going to talk to, Miss Torres, Tavares, Khan, Curry, Medard holds us down, Miss King, Cordero, Emily, T, and Cove. I couldn't do the work I'm doing without this amazing group of people, and if I missed anyone, I'm sorry, but this crew right here really helps me do what I do. But shout out to the young men in my initiative. I love them so much, and when you see the changes that are taking place in this group, it gives you chills. People just need an opportunity. People just need resources, and some people just need somebody to lean on, somebody to tell them, I got you, I love you. You'll be surprised how many people just don't have things that some of us take for granted every day. And I'm just proud of my crew. They're leaders in their housing units. They're going to be leaders in the community, and I'm really proud of the work that they're doing.
Now, do you say I love you to them or just love you?
I say I love you.
I love you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it means a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you. And you got a positive note, Charlamagne?
I do, man. I really been thinking about that.
Before we do the positive note,
okay,
you got to schedule us to come to Rikers one time.
Absolutely.
I don't know if Charlamagne's with it. I'm sure he would, but it'd be dope if we could.
He's with it.
If we could, no, I'm saying if we could broadcast out of there one time.
Wow.
Can
wow.
we? I don't know. I'm asking.
Well, the commissioner's coming.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm there. I know. A lot telling me to pull up somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm pulling up.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, be awesome.
All right.
I'm
Positive
there.
note.
Yeah, the positive note, man. I've been thinking about that tall sister who called in, who wants to be married, but doesn't want to date short men. And I'm telling you, I'm telling her her blessing is 5'5". And with that said, the positive note is simple: don't miss out on blessings just because they aren't packaged the way you are expecting.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?